6:06 p.m. is an hour that some people try to avoid at all costs. The reason why, well, it's because this is the time when reality is said to be at its most fragile, with the veil between our world and the spirit world being at its thinnest. It's a time when ghosts can easily cross over into our realm, demons can enter human bodies, and magic is said to be at its strongest. But just how true is this? Is 6:06 p.m. really the most dangerous time of the day, or is it just a silly myth that we tell ourselves? Let's find out. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, and today we gonna be taking a deep dive into the cursed hour and trying to figure out if there's any truth to the legend. So turn off your clocks right now, because I'm afraid you won't like what you see. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would a perfectly normal and sane person such as yourself even entertain such a preposterous idea? It sounds crazy. But believe it or not, there are actually a lot of people who take this hour very seriously. In fact, before 6:06 p.m. rolls around every single day, you can find thousands upon thousands of people locking themselves in their house and refusing to let anyone or anything in. They barricade their doors, they cover their windows, and they hide under their beds until the clock strikes 7. Why, you ask? Well, that's because they've heard the stories, they know the legends, they know that evil things are out there lurking, waiting for the hands of the clock to reach 6:06 so they can enter their homes uninvited. But what exactly are these evil things? And should you be worried about them? Well, according to legend, these are the times when ghosts walk the earth. You see, in some cultures, it's believed that the souls of the dead wander the earth after sunset, looking for a new body to inhabit, and 6:06 p.m. is said to be the perfect time for this. That's because during this hour, the veil between our world and the spirit world is at its thinnest, making it easier for ghosts to pass through it. Now, obviously, you don't want a ghost to crawl into your body, considering that they usually come with a whole lot of baggage, including memories, experiences, and emotions that you don't want. So instead, people lock themselves inside their houses and pray that no ghosts come anywhere near them. Some even go as far as to surround themselves with holy water and religious symbols to ward off any unwanted spirits. But ghosts aren't the only thing to worry about during this cursed hour. No, sir. That's because, according to some, this is also the time when demons roam free. You see, in some religions, it's believed that demons are the embodiment of evil itself, and they're always looking for an opportunity to do some damage. And what better way to do that than by possessing a human body? That's right. If a demon were to enter your body at 6:06, you could say goodbye to your humanity and hello to hell on earth. To avoid this, some people choose to perform exorcisms on themselves, basically driving the demon away from their body. Others might read prayers or incantations to ward off evil spirits. But perhaps the scariest part about this is that even those who don't believe in demons are still at risk. That's because while demons can't enter someone's body without their permission, they can still influence their thoughts and actions. So even if you don't believe in demons, you might still find yourself doing things that you wouldn't normally do if you were near one. But before we continue, I want you to make sure that you subscribe. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone that you skipped class to watch this video. That's because I have a feeling you'll want to hear this next story. You see, not all stories of strange occurrences at 6:06 p.m. involve ghosts and demons. In fact, some people claim that this is also the hour when magic is at its strongest. That's right, whether it's white magic or black magic. Supposedly, whatever magic you cast at 6:06 will be 3 times more powerful than it would be at any other time of the day. So, if you're a witch or a warlock, this is the hour that you might want to be casting your spells. Of course, if you're on the receiving end of that magic, it's probably not going to feel too good. But hey, that's just how magic works, right? Now, there are plenty of stories of people casting spells at 6:06 p.m. to cause all sorts of chaos, from making someone fall in love with them to causing them to have bad luck for the rest of the week, and who knows what else. After all, magic is pretty unpredictable. But even if you're not into all that witchy woo-woo stuff, you should still be careful during this hour. That's because, according to some, it's also the time when the laws of physics break down and anything can happen. For example, some people have reported seeing strange lights in the sky at 6:06. While others have claimed to see objects moving through walls. Now, obviously, we can't explain these sightings using science. In fact, science tells us that none of this should even be possible. But that doesn't mean it's not happening. So, if you're out and about at 6:06, you might want to keep your eyes open for anything unusual. And here's another scary thought. What if you died at 6:06? That's right. Dying during the cursed hour is said to be even worse than dying at any other time. Some people claim that those who die at 6:06 are cursed to wander the earth as ghosts. Others say that their souls are sent straight to hell, and some believe that they come back as demons. Obviously, we can't prove or disprove any of these claims, but it makes you wonder what the chances of dying at 6:06 are. According to statistics, there are roughly 86,400 seconds in every day. So, dying at precisely 6:06 would be pretty unlikely, but the odds are still there. So, if you find yourself approaching 6:06, you might want to hold on to your seat. Who knows? Maybe you'll get a front row ticket to hell. Speaking of hell, you might want to get ready for some scary stories, because that's where we're headed next. You see, while there are plenty of people out there who believe that 6:06 is just a superstitious myth, there are just as many who believe that it's a very real phenomenon that should be feared. Those who believe in the power of 6:06 often share their experiences online, hoping to warn others of the dangers that lie ahead. One user wrote, I was driving home from work and I started to get creeped out because everything seemed a bit too quiet. Then suddenly I realized that it was 6:06 and I started freaking out, and then I got home safely. Another user shared this story. I was walking home from a friend's house and it was getting dark outside. Suddenly, I noticed that it was 6:06 and I started to run. When I turned around, there was a man standing there staring at me, and he looked like he was watching me the whole time. I didn't stop running until I got home. As you can see, some people believe that 6:06 is a time when evil things can happen, and sometimes those evil things can take the form of human beings. That's right. If you meet someone at 6:06, you might want to be careful. Some people believe that those who are born at 6:06 are cursed to bring bad luck to those around them. And let's be honest, that's not exactly a good way to start off your life. These people are said to be selfish, greedy, and cruel, and they're always looking out for number one. And that's why you might want to avoid meeting anyone at 6:06. But what if you're not able to avoid 6:06? What if you're stuck at work or school or in traffic? Well, luckily for you, there are plenty of ways to protect yourself during this dangerous hour. For example, some people carry around holy water or religious symbols to ward off evil spirits. Others prefer to use more modern methods of protection, like locking their doors and windows and staying away from any mirrors. Still, others don't bother protecting themselves at all. Instead, they embrace the danger and see what happens. Now, I don't recommend following their lead, especially since there are plenty of stories of people who have been hurt or even killed during the cursed hour. If you want to stay safe, it's best to take precautions. So next time you hear the clock strike 6, look around you and make sure that you're not alone. After all, you never know who or what might be lurking around the corner. Speaking of lurking around the corner, let me know in the comments if you think 6:06 is just a silly myth, or if you're actually afraid of what might happen during this cursed hour. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. Also, I'd like to thank you all so much for the support you've given me. It really means a lot, and I'm so glad that you're enjoying my videos. With that said, I'll see you next time. Bye.